Hello students, today's class we are going to see about measurement of horizontal angles by using the theodolite, right? So already we know by using theodolite, right? By using theodolite we are going to measure the both horizontal angles and vertical angles, okay? So in today's class we are going to see how we are going to measure horizontal angle and we are going to measure the vertical angle, okay? So normally to measure horizontal angles by using theodolite we have a horizontal plates, that is upper plate and lower plate, okay? Upper plate and lower plate in the instrument, okay? So if suppose this is the vertical circle, okay? So here we have a turning axis, around this we have a telescope, right? So this total setup is attached to a circle called T frame, okay? And we have a frame also like here, right? So here we have a one kind of plate that is called upper plate, and to the bottom we have another plate that is called lower plate, okay? So normally it will be a circular one, okay? It will be a circular one. Again bottom of these we have three adjustment screws, right? So to a tri-bars, okay? So these tri-bars will be attached to a what is called tripod, right? So leveling screws, 3 foot screws will be there. Over that we have a two plates, okay? Upper plate as well as the lower plate, okay? So to move the upper plate and lower plate we have two type of screws. One is clamp screw, another one is the tangent screw. What is that? Clamp screw and tangent screw, right? So here we are having the two type of circles, right? There we will have a angles from 0 to 360, angles from 0 to 360 on both. This is the upper plate, what is called vertical circle, and this is the upper plate and lower plate, okay? It will be in the horizontally and this will be in the vertically, okay? So both were having the readings of angles from 0 to 360, okay? So here the angles are in degrees, then angles also in the minutes, angles also in the seconds, right? So what decimals we are having? Degree, minute and seconds. So this is the notation, okay? So degrees, minutes and seconds, okay? So here we have a both same, we have a main scale, okay? So main scale having readings from 0 to 360. Also in the last class we told that for the T frame, if you are taking a vertical circle, we have a T frame here, and either side we will have a one fixed scale called vernier scale. What is that? Vernier scale, okay? So for each what is called main scale, okay, even it is a vertical one or a horizontal one, both will have one main scale, and over that we will have a vernier scale. Over that we are having the vernier scale, right? So here also upper plate will have vernier and lower plate will have the main reading. Here circular plate is having main scale and the both sides of this T frame is having the vernier on the vertical side, okay? So this is very much required information to take the readings. First of all, if you want to use the instrument, you have to know, right? Any theodolite will have two circles, okay, from where we are going to get the both horizontal and vertical, right? If you want to take vertical angle, you need to use this vertical circle. If you want to take horizontal angles, you need to use this horizontal scale, right? So in every place we will have two type of scales, that is main scale and vernier scale. So vernier main scale is having readings of 0 to 360, and vernier scale will have some divisions, right? Even it may be whatever, if one division is there in the main scale, there will be n-1 or n+1 divisions will be there, whatever vernier type of vernier you are going to use, right? So that we will be see in the case of vernier, right? So these verniers will be there on these two circles on both sides, right? So this side one circle will have, other side will have. Even for these horizontal scale also, both sides will have a verniers, okay? So that readings we are going to note down in terms of degrees, minutes and seconds, okay? So if it is degree representation, this is one line is minute and two dots are seconds, okay? So this you have to remember. And next thing what we have to remember now, so every scale, right, even vertical circle or main this one horizontal circle will have two types of screws, that is clamp screw and tangent screw. When you use the clamp screw now, whenever you want to move the instrument, right, in a too much rotation, no, there we will use the clamp screw. So whenever you want to have very little rotation, then we will use the tangent screw, so that the instrument will rotate very slowly, okay? So that is tangent screw. If you want to move the clamp, what is called instrument, much okay rotation, no, we have to use the clamp screw, okay? Whenever exact reading, okay, small movement is required, we will use the tangent screw, okay? Keep in mind, all upper plate, lower plate and vertical circle, everywhere we will have these type of screws, okay? So coming to this horizontal scale, okay, here upper scale and upper plate and lower plate we will call technically, right? So for upper plate we have upper clamp screw and tangent screw. For lower plate we have lower clamp screw as well as the lower tangent screw, okay? For these two plates we will have two different types of screws like here, okay? So when vertical scale will be used, when you are taking the vertical angles, we will use this scale. Whenever you are taking the horizontal readings, we are going to use this horizontal scale, okay? Now since our topic is horizontal angle now, that's why we are going to discuss much about this upper plate and lower plate, okay? So before going to the procedure, we have to remember this, and we have to remember another very important thing, okay? So that is, in the last class already I told, so we have upper clamp screw and lower clamp screw, upper clamp screw, lower clamp screw, right? So when this is, suppose this is I am taking as an instrument, here I have a upper plate, right? Below that I am going to have the lower plate, upper plate, lower plate, right? So upper plate is having the one screw called upper clamp screw, and this is the lower clamp screw and upper clamp screw, right? So now if both screws were tightened, okay, so both are tightened, they both are clamped, right? So instrument cannot rotate, it will be at a particular position only, it can't rotate, right? So whenever you opened this lower clamp screw, and if you clamp the upper clamp screw now, the instrument will be rotated without having any relative motion between these two plates, instrument will rotate. Okay, so if you both tighten, the instrument cannot rotate. If we open the lower clamp screw and tighten the upper clamp screw, instrument will rotate without having relative motion between these two plates. Okay, this position, right? So instrument moves without relative motion between plates, right? So we can't see any relative motion, both will rotate together. Okay, this is the condition, right? So this you have to remember. Okay, next thing is what? If this will be opened and even this may be opened or closed, right? If it is closed, if it is tightened and upper screw is released, okay, then the lower plate will be at same position, right? So the upper plate will rotate with the relative motion between the two plates, right? Lower plate will have the reading, right? So instrument moves with the relative motion between plates. In this position, okay, both plates will move together. In this position, upper plate will move over the lower plate freely. Okay, this concept should be remembered while taking the readings, right? While taking the readings, what you have to know, first of all, if you want to take horizontal angles, you need to use this horizontal scale. If you want to organelle scale or circle, if you want to measure the vertical angles, you need to use the vertical circle, right? So the angles will be in terms of 0 to 360, and those are marked in degrees, minutes and seconds. And along with main scale, we have another scale called vernier scale. Vernier scales will be there on both sides. Both are at 180 degrees. One is this side, another one is this side for the vertical scale. And for horizontal scale, one is this side, another one is this side. Okay. Next, for the movement of these instrument or plates, we have two types of screws. One is clamp screw, another one is the tangent screw. Whenever you want to have the major rotation, no? So where we can use the clamp screws. Whenever you want to move very little rotation, little movement, you are going to use the tangent screws, right? So next thing is we have to know what is the position, how to take the readings while removing or releasing the clamp screws now. So when coming to the horizontal angle taking, right? So you have to remember this. Whenever you close the upper clamp screw, tighten that is clamping the upper clamp screw and release the lower clamp, the instrument can rotate without having relative motion between these two plates. అంటే వెర్నియర్ స్కేల్ మెయిన్ స్కేల్ మధ్య ఎలాంటి రొటేషన్ లేకుండా కంప్లీట్ గా ఇన్స్ట్రుమెంట్ ఏ డైరెక్షన్ కంటే ఆ డైరెక్షన్ కి రొటేట్ అవుతుంది. సో వెన్ ఎవర్ యూ రిలీజ్ ది అప్పర్ క్లాంప్ స్క్రూ అండ్ tighten the lower clamp screw, the upper plate will move over the lower plate with having relative motion. అంటే అప్పుడు యాంగిల్స్ చేంజ్ అవుతాయి. ఓకే, సో దిస్ షుడ్ బి రిమెంబర్. This is most important even we are taking readings in the case of theodolite. Okay, now we will see the procedure how to take the horizontal angle. Okay, now let us see how to measure the horizontal angles by using the theodolite, right? So now I am going to set up my instrument at a point Q. I am going to set up my instrument at a point Q. How to do setup? We need to take out the tripod, right? We need to adjust the tripod legs, right? We need to tighten the legs also, and we have to firmly press the tripod into the ground ground, so that it can't shake, and due to wind also it won't be disturbed. Okay, over that I'm going to keep our theodolite, and with the clamp which is provided in the tripod, I am going to fix the instrument to it, and I am going to, what I have to do first, we need to do the setting, right? I took the instrument and I place it over the tripod, right? So, and I leveled with help of tripod legs by adjusting the tripod legs. Okay, so I level some rough leveling. Then with help of plumb bob or optical plummet which is provided in the instrument, or by using the plumb bob, I am going to see whether the point, right, the cube, exactly the instrument is placed over the cube or not. I will check, and accordingly I will adjust the tripod legs, and I am going to place the instrument exactly over the point Q. Setting is over. Then what we have to do, we need to do the second step, we need to do the leveling. We need to make it level, right? So for that I am going to use the plate bubbles there, and with help of 3 foot screws I am going to make level. Okay, that procedure already we know. Then we have to eliminate, third one is we have to eliminate the parallax error. For that I am going to adjust both eyepiece and objective pieces, okay, so that I can easily see the crosshairs as well as the object what I am going to sight, that also be visible very clearly. Okay, if this is done clearly, okay, so my instrument is ready to take the readings. Okay, now if I want, I set up the instrument at Q, and my assignment or my work is I want to know the angle between P and R. Okay, P and R, I want to know the horizontal angle between P and R by using the instrument which is kept at point Q. Okay, so if you see the line of sight, this is the line of sight from P to Q, and from R also this is the line of sight. Okay, now I want to determine what is this angle theta. Okay, now I want to determine this. Okay, now what procedure we have to follow, right? We will see that. Okay, the first point is you need to set up the instrument at point Q. Set up instrument at point Q. Okay, so while doing setup we know all temporary adjustments, right? Setting, leveling, and elimination of parallax, everything is over. Okay, now the second step is release all clamp screws. Release all clamp screws. Okay, so what clamp screws we will use here? We are not going to think about anything about vertical circle, since we are taking angles in the horizontal direction. That's why we are going to use both upper plate and as well as the lower plate tangents, or what is called clamp screws. Both will be released. Both will be released. Okay, so now next step what I have to do now, I am going to tighten the upper clamp screw and I am going to release the lower clamp screw. Okay, before that what I have to do now, if this is the lower plate where the readings starting from 0, right? So again what we will have 30, 40, okay, 60, 80, here now we have 90, then here we have 180, and we have 270, again 0. Okay, so on the upper plate we will have a vernier scale. We know both sides will have the vernier scale. Okay, So vernier scale will have divisions like this. Okay. Now when I release the all clamps, the bottom plate will be at fixed one condition. Now I am going to rotate the clamps, what is called these two plates, so that one side, right, one side, suppose if I am taking left, right, or that vertical scale is to the left, now I am going to bring this 0 of the one of the vernier. Suppose if I am taking, this is A vernier, this is B vernier, okay, A vernier, B vernier. The 0 of the A vernier has to coincide with the 0 of main scale, 0 degrees of main scale, right? If much distance is there, we will use the thing, but you can tighten slowly the clamp screws, and by using tangent screws also you can match, right? You can have to bring, okay. So if this is the 0 of main scale, okay, the vernier of A, okay, vernier of A, you can see this 0 of vernier is exactly coincide with the 0 of main scale. We have to check it, right? If A vernier 0 is there at 0 of main scale, if the other side B vernier should be at what angle? If it is perfect, is there, no error is there, okay, with the instrument. If 0 vernier of A vernier A 0 reading is exactly matched with the 0 of main scale, the other side, the vernier B's 0 reading should be matched with the 180 if there is no error, okay, there is no error with the instrument. If such kind of error is there, we need to eliminate it. That kind of adjustments are called permanent adjustments, right? So whatever we did, that is temporary adjustments, okay. Now once you brought the 0 reading to the 0 reading of vernier to the main scale, what you have to do, you need to tighten the all screws, you need to tighten the all screws, right? So every screw is tightened, okay. Now what you have to do now, release lower screw and clamp upper screw, So while doing this, okay, already we discussed, okay, if top is closed and bottom is opened, what is going to happen? Instrument will be rotate without having any relative motion between these upper plate and lower plate. That means once you set the instrument for 0 vernier to 0 main scale, right? So whenever you going for this operation, that means releasing the upper screw, tightening the upper screw and releasing the lower screw, okay. So that is clamp the upper screw and release the lower screw. The instrument will be rotated, but we can't observe any relative motion between these two. That means we are going to set the instrument at 0. We are going to set the instrument 0. Now, by doing this, after keeping it instrument at point Q, now I am going to rotate the instrument towards point P. While doing this, the reading is not changing. We are going to keep, while sighting to the P, we are going to keep the reading at 0 degrees. Okay, for doing that, what are you going to do? We are going to release the lower screw and tightening the upper screw so that this adjustment cannot be changed. So by using telescope, we are going to, normally with our what is called eyes, we can judge that whether the instrument is turned towards P or not, okay. If it is approximately adjusted towards P, by using telescope we are going to, through lenses, we are going to see whether that P point or P object, it is sighting very clearly, that means it is visible very clearly or not, right? If I am taking a pole as a P point, some pole I am taking, this is the, I am assuming it as a P. While sighting through the telescope, my crosshair should be like this. My crosshair should be sighted like this. Whatever crosshair is not, two things will be there, right? The vertical crosshair should be exactly middle or exactly coincide with this pole, and it should be seen very clearly both what is called object and as well as the crosshairs. Okay, so now I sighted very exactly, and both crosshairs and objective is visible very clearly, and my readings on the scales were 0 0 0 0 everything. Okay, now what is the angle? Initial position, what is the angle we are having? 0. Okay, so now I did this adjustment and sighted the next point. What you have to do? Sight point P. Okay, I sighted. Okay, my reading at this after sighting P instrument is at 0 0. Okay, now next step what you have to do now? We need to measure the angle between P and R, so that now if this is the 0, I want to turn my instrument towards the R, then only I can measure the angle from P to R. P to R. For that, what I have to do? I need to release upper clamp screw. Okay, and I will turn the instrument. When you do this, when you did this, the upper plate will move freely. So the angles will be changed. The angles will be get changed, right? So whenever you turn from here to here, the angles will get changed. Okay. So when after turning towards A with your eyes approximately, then by using your telescope in the instrument, you are going to sight the object. Okay. Even I am taking R as a pole. Okay. So my crosshair should be match with coincide with the pole, and crosshairs and as well as the objective is visibly it is clearly visible from Q. Then what I have to do now? I need to tighten after releasing once, releasing the upper clamp screw, I am going to rotate the instrument. There will be a relative motion between upper plate and lower plate. Now the angles will get changed. You can't see the 0 here. Okay, since it is at some other direction, no? So our angle will get changed, right? So once you sighted the R point exactly, R object exactly, now I am going to tighten the R screws. Okay, so that I can't measure, I can't see the relative motion. Okay, if you are touching your hand also, it may rotate, so it will give some error values, no, wrong values you will get. That's why once you sighted exactly R, you can tighten all the screws so that the instrument will be fixed. Now from the vernier A, from the vernier A, you are going to take the reading. Okay, now how we are going to take reading here? Out of all these 9 verniers, 9 readings in the vernier, which point is exactly matched with the one reading is going to match main scale reading. Okay, main scale reading ఉన్నటువంటి ఒక్క వాల్యూ తో వెర్నియర్ స్కేల్ లో ఉన్న ఏదో ఒక రీడింగ్ ఎగ్జాక్ట్ గా స్ట్రైట్ లైన్ లో మ్యాచ్ అయి ఉంటుంది. ఆ పాయింట్ ఏంటో నోట్ చేసుకోవాలి, రైట్? సో ఇనిషియల్లీ వీ హ్యావ్ 0 వాల్యూ, and after that we will have some 28 degrees, okay, 11 minutes, okay, something I will get. Now what is the horizontal angle between these PQR? That is PQR, that is this value, that is this value. Okay, so like that we are going to measure the horizontal angles. Okay, and also people may have doubt and we need to check whether it is right or wrong. Then what you have to do now? So when the first operation while doing this in instrument, you can observe the horizontal plate will be, if this is the what is called telescope, and when I am taking the reading, okay, this vertical scale is to the my left side, then what you have to do, we need to turn this instrument, and after keeping the vertical scale to right, this is right, this is left, then you can take again the same, follow the same procedure and find out the angle. You check whether you are getting right or wrong, right? So even since we are having two verniers here, one side I am putting 0, another side I am getting 180. So whenever you turn from P to R, here we will get direct value from the vernier A, and you are also get value from the vernier B also. But what you have to do, we need to deduct the 180 degrees from the reading whatever you got in the vernier B. You need to deduct the 180 degrees, then you will get same value. We check like this. If the left observation is this and this is called right observation, with help of these also we can check the reading, and even we can check the accuracy with help of A vernier and B vernier. Okay, so this is the normal simple procedure you are going to follow to find out the horizontal angles. Okay, what you have to do, I am going to tell again. We are going to set up the instrument at Q, and you made all temporary adjustments like setting out, leveling and removal of parallax. Then you clamp the upper clamp screw and release the lower clamp. You can turn the instrument without having relative motion between the upper plate and lower plate, so that the 0 values cannot change, and you are going to sight the point P. Once you sight the point P, what you have to do, you need to release the upper clamp screw. I am going to turn the instrument towards point R. Okay, while doing this, the upper plate will move over the lower plate, so that the readings of angles will get changed. Whatever angle is there between P and Q, that value we will get on the scale, right? So once after you are sighting the point R, and you are going to tighten all the screws, so that it won't change, right? It will be at a fixed point. Then you can read the readings from both vernier A and vernier B. If you are taking the readings from vernier A, you will get direct reading, and if you are taking readings of vernier B, you need to deduct the 180 degrees from that particular value. Okay, so that will be noted in a tabular column, right? So now I am going to draw the tabular column, how we are going to enter these angle values in the table, right? Okay, so this is the table to enter the horizontal angle, right? So by seeing this size of the table, don't get fear, it is very easy to note down, right? So I already told that we have to see the table how it is there. The first thing is instrument at. Okay, so in this last reading, where you kept instrument, we kept instrument at point Q. We point at Q. And sighted to, how many sights we took? We took P and we took towards R. Okay, I sighted point P initially, later I sighted point R. Okay, so when I sighted point P, okay, so in the verniers of horizontal upper plate, that is A vernier and B vernier, are at set righted to make it to the 0. Okay, so that is there. Okay, before going to that, you can see here face left, and we have another thing, face right. Already I told that if this is your telescope, if the vertical circle is to your left side, that observation is called face left observation. If this is at your right side of your right hand, okay, so meeku మీ రైట్ హ్యాండ్ సైడ్, ఓకే, ఈ అప్పర్ సర్కిల్ ఉంటుంది కదా, వర్టికల్ సర్కిల్, అది ఉంటే దాన్ని ఫేస్ రైట్ అంటారు, దీన్ని ఫేస్ లెఫ్ట్ అంటారు. సో హియర్ ద టేబుల్ ఈస్ గివెన్ ఫర్ బోత్ ఫర్ ఫేస్ లెఫ్ట్ అండ్ ఫేస్ రైట్. The first time what we are taking face left, and second reading is taken for face right. That's why this is the half of, this is the half. Exactly, if I are taking values up to this, it is okay. For accuracy, if you want to know there is any error, right? If you want to find that, if you want to get the exact reading, either we are going to check the reading, what you get here, it is right or wrong, you need to go for next observation. So finally, we are going to get a average horizontal angle. Okay. Now, whenever you cited point P and R, we are having two verniers, that is A vernier and B vernier. That already we know. Okay, this is the horizontal scale. Here having 0, here you have the 180, here you have vernier B, and here we have a vernier A. Initially we are matching with 0, 0. That's why whenever you cited the point P from the Q, what is the initial value we are having? We are having all values 0. That's why 0. Okay, here angles will be already told, it is the degrees, minutes, then seconds. 0, 0, then even in the B also we are having 0, 0, right? So mean also we are going to get average of these two, 0, 0, horizontal angle is nothing is there, right? So it is, since it is a initial one. Then when I unclamp the upper plate, okay, I cited point R from the P. So I rotated my instrument from P to R. Okay, then I observed the changes in the angles. Again I tightened all the screws. When I observed the readings from the both A vernier and as well as the B vernier, right? So I got some value, that is 52 degrees, okay, 41 minutes, okay, 20 seconds, okay, 20 seconds, okay. And also from the vernier B, whatever value I got, I am going to deduct 180 degrees from that, and I got value of some 41 degrees 20 minutes, okay. Sorry. Okay, so once I cited the point R, I got the value in the A vernier as 52 degrees 41 minutes 20 degrees. When I observe the reading in the where on the B vernier, here I am going to see only the minutes and seconds. I am not bothering about the angle, and I got 41 minutes 20 seconds, right? Now what is the mean of this value? Since every value is same, that's why 52 degrees 41 minutes 20 seconds, 20 seconds, okay. The what is the horizontal angle here? Same thing will be the horizontal angle, same thing will be the horizontal angle, okay. So now this is the observation, this is the readings measurement when you kept your vertical circle, vertical plate to your right side of the to the your what is called telescope, okay. Now I am going to turn the instrument so that vertical circle will be right side to the telescope, right? So now I am going to take for the face right observation. What is called face right observation? Same procedure. I am going to keep instrument at Q and I am going to sight point P, and on the vernier scale every value is 0, 0, 0, 0. Every value is 0, 0, 0. Why? Because it is a set to the 0. Then I turn the instrument towards the R so that I am going to get the value, okay. Again I got 52 degrees 41 minutes 20 seconds. On the B vernier I got the 41 minutes 20 seconds. Then mean value is 52 minutes 41 degrees 52 degrees 41 minutes 20 seconds. Then horizontal angle is same value 52 41 20. And what is the average horizontal angle? From the face right and face left I am going to take the average right. If you observe any error from the face right or face left, okay, so there will be some error. I think you took the reading wrongly, or there may be error in the instrument itself, okay, that we have to check, Okay, so now if both are getting different values, nearly different now, so we'll go for the average angle. But here whatever horizontal angle whatever you got here and whatever horizontal angle you got here, both are similar. Even if you are taking average also, you are going to get 52 degrees 41 minutes 20 seconds. Okay, like this you have to enter the values in the tabular column. If you are citing still more points, okay, not only PQ or STEW, okay, whatever points you are going to take, every reading you have to enter in this way. This is very simple table, but if you see this table, it will be very big, but the entry of values will be very easy. Okay, now in the case of horizontal angle measurement for the accuracy of result, okay, so since we are having only 2 points, okay, if I am having some more points, even S, T, U, V, W, like that, no, so how to take those readings? Okay, for that, in the horizontal angle measurement of theodolite, we are having 2 methods. One is a repetition method and reiteration method. Okay, 2 methods we are having. The first one is repetition method and reiteration method. Okay, repetition method, reiteration method. Okay, these 2 methods are there. In the next class we are going to see how we are going to follow repetition and reiteration method. Even it is repetition or reiteration, the table will be remains same. The table will be remains same. You have to fix this table and we are going to see the thing. Even if you are going for the vertical angle measurement, since we don't have any face left or face right, even there also will have face left, face right, so same thing will be followed. Okay, so that's all for today. So in the next class we are going to see the repetition method and reiteration methods for the measurement of horizontal angles, right? Hello students, so in this today's class we are going to see the repetition method, right? So repetition method will give the with degrees of finer degree of accuracy. Even with help of vernier also we are going to get the accurate, but by doing this method we are going to get still more accurate readings, right? So in this method what we are going to do now, we are going to take the same reading 2 to 3 times. Okay, same readings with 2 to 3 times. We are having the set up the instrument at Q and we are going to cite point P and we are going to cite point R. P and R we are going to cite and we are going to know the theta value. Okay, so this reading will be taken repeatedly, and one thing you have to remember, we are not going to set up the 0 0, right? We are not going to bring the vernier scale to main scale of 0 0. Only starting of the procedure, right, process we are going to set up at 0, but later we can't bring it again, right? So we are going to take again and again the values. That's why it is called repetition. We are going to repeat the taking the readings. That's why it is called repetition method. Okay, so why you need to do now? We need to do it for the better accuracy. Okay, so here I gave some sample tabular column. In the previous class we have the very brief, okay, very detailed tabular column there. Here I gave some example for face left. Okay, the process will be repeated, same thing for even face right also. Okay, so first what I have to do now, I am going to set up the instrument at point Q and I cited the point P, right? I am going to set up the instrument at Q. There I did all temporary adjustments. Then I kept the reading towards 0, right? By removing lower clamp, I turn the instrument towards P. Okay, I set the 0 value like that. After that what you have to do, I turn the instrument in the clockwise direction and sighted the point R. Okay, before turning instrument from P to R, what I need to do, I need to open the upper clamp and tighten the lower clamp. I can turn the instrument so that the relative motion between the upper plate and lower plate, I am going to get the different angle value. Okay, so during this time, what I am going to get now? So I am going to get every time I set up the instrument at P and I am sighting towards P and R. While taking the sighting towards the P, I got the values 0, 0, 0, 0 in both A near and B near. The mean value also will be the same. And here I am going to add on one more thing here. Actually, previous table, this point has to be there. Number of repetition, how much, what is the repetition of your taking reading, and finally what is the horizontal angle. Same table will be followed for even face right also. Face right also. Here I took only left. Okay. First I sighted towards P and unclamped the upper clamp and I turned towards the R and I observed this some reading, that is 52. Sorry, first, okay, 52, 41 minutes and 20 seconds. 52, 41 and 20. And here also I got 41, 20. Okay. So what is the mean? Mean will be the 52, 41, 20. Okay. What is the repetition? First repetition is this. That's why one repetition. Okay. So with this one repetition, okay, so what value I got? I will be noted down here. Then what I have to do, I am going to unclamp the lower clamp, unclamp the lower clamp and clamp the upper clamp. What I have to do, I will bring the instrument back. I will bring instrument as it is without having any relative motion. As it is, I am going to bring in the anti-clockwise direction back to the P. Okay, here we don't see the changes in the vernier values, but we will change the values, the changes in the only in case of angles only. Okay, so that's why again after turning back to the initial position, right? So again the values will be somewhat changed, right? So again, okay, so here the instrument will be again rotated in a clockwise direction to the P. Okay, once you sighted the P and with 0 angle, we noted down all the values. Then I sighted the point R. Okay, I note down the values here. It is the first repetition. Then I turn in the not anti-clockwise direction. We are going to turn the thing in the clockwise direction, and I will come to the this position. When reach to this position, you have to, what you have to do, we need to do the, what is called, we need to do clamp the upper, okay, release the lower, okay, so that we will be at a fixed point. Then you have to see the reading, and this may come 158 degrees, okay, 158 degrees, 0 minutes and 40 seconds, okay. So again here also you will get 0 minutes 40 seconds. Okay, so the mean value may be 158, right? So mean value we won't get, no. So like this, again this is the second repetition. Again we will sight towards the R. After again you will get the third repetition. Okay, by getting all these values, okay, by getting these mean values, okay, so we are going to get final horizontal value. That means we are going to rotate again and again. We are going to take same theta value for number of times. That's why it is called repetition method. Okay, okay, so next method is reiteration method. Okay, so reiteration method, this may have another names called direction method or series method. Direction method or series method. Okay, so when this method is used now, we are going to have a common origin point, origin, right? So we have a, suppose same Q are having, okay, so I am having first point P, second R and S, T, V. These are the different points where I need to measure the angle between what is called angle PQR, angle RQS. Okay, this is the angle, no, this one. this is theta 1, this is theta 2, and angle SQT, that is theta 3, and angle TQV, that is Q4, and next one we are having angle PQV, right? PQV, this is the angle theta 5. Okay, so if we want to go for a series of angles, at that moment we are going to use the reiteration method. Okay, so it is the same method, same principle, but we are going to find out the angles between other angles, right? Continuously we are going to take the angles. Okay, process is simple. Set up the instrument at Q and do all temporary adjustments. Set the instrument towards P initially with 0 0 reading. Okay, then by unclamping the upper clamp, okay, we are going to turn the instrument from P towards the R, and when you kept towards P, the instrument shows them 0 0 values. Okay, so when you turn towards the R, you are going to get some values. Okay, so here I am going to get some 54, 21, 30. Okay, 21, 30, 54, 21, 30. Okay, now I am going to release again the upper clamp, and I am going to turn the instrument from R to S, and I am going to sight the S. Now at point S, I got value some how much 89, okay, 42, okay, and 10, okay, 42, 10, and the average is 89, 42, 10. Then I unclamp the upper clamp screw. While coming here, I need to, every time I need to do the clamp. When I am turning from one point to another point, I am going to unclamp the upper clamp. So I am going to turn the instrument from S to T. So S to T. Then here I got value of some 108 degrees, 21, 10. Okay, 21, 10, 108, 10, 21. This is the angle I noting down. Then unclamp the upper screw. Okay, turn towards V and clamp the upper screw. Then I took the reading by sighting V point. Then I got some values of 160. Okay, this may be 15. This may be the 21. Then we have to 15, 21. So 160, 15, 21. Okay. Next, from V to P again I will turn. I am going to note down the values, right? So whatever values we got here, we are going to take all horizontal in this thing. Okay, and finally we are going to reach the P. Okay, so we started with 0 and we ended with the same origin. Now we ended with here. Again, what is the total angle? What we are going to get? Finally, if you sight the P value, you need to get exactly 360. If you get the 360 while after coming by starting from P and ending with P, if you are getting 360, that is the right procedure you followed and you got all values correctly. If you are not achieving 360 degrees, somewhere else it went wrong. You need to take the readings again, right? So this method will tells us whether you took the correct reading or not with help of this check. And one time you took with the face left, and we can repeat the same process with making face right, and you take average values finally, and every time we are going to find these values, right? So whenever you come to the surveying field work lab, so we will see it very clearly, right? So as far as surveying concern, you have to do the experiment in the lab, in the field, right? So that you are going to understood these methods very clearly. But you have to remember the procedure, right? So even exams also they will ask what is the repetition method and reiteration method. These two methods will be used for the calculation of horizontal angles. Okay, so next we are going to see the methods how we are going to find out the vertical angles by using the theodolite, right?